Good morning teachers and dear students, welcome to digital classes. Today we are going to discuss about an important topic, but before going to the topic, let us recall the previous chapters of your 10th class bioscience. That is, the first topic is nutrition. The process of nutrition is nothing but supplying nutrients to the body, wherein the complex substances are digested into simpler and diffusible substances. The second intimate system to the digestive system is respiration. During respiration process, the gases which are inhaled into the lungs, the oxygen present in the inhaled air diffuses into the alveolus. And sometimes when our body gets wounded or any injury occurs, we will go to the hospitals. There the doctor will give us oral medicine or any type of injections. Wound is at the place and we are taking injection at another place. Now think about these substances, that is the digested substances and the diffused gases and the medicine or any other chemical which is entering into the body is remaining in the same place or reaching to any other place. Yes, all these substances are moving from one place to the other place. Is there any carrier or vehicle inside our body to transport all these substances? Of course. But unlike multicellular organisms, in unicellular organisms like amoeba, the transportation of substances takes place by a simple process called diffusion. But this diffusion process is not applicable and it is not possible to multicellular organisms because in multicellular organisms, there are so many trillions of cells which are arranged all over the body, and the distance between external environment and the internal environment is also more. Due to this reason, the multicellular organisms are depending on a complex system of transportation. So, this complex system of transportation is nothing but our circulatory system. Let us know in detail about the circulatory system that is there in 10th class bioscience. Okay children, let us observe some images related to our topic. Here in this image you can see the extension of tube-like structures all over the body that help in movement of substances to each and every cell. That means this system is communicating with each and every cell for movement of the substances. This is nothing but the circulatory system. The circulatory system is not only carrying or supplying substances and gases to the cells, it does the different functions like it is collecting carbon dioxide and excretory waste from each and every cell, and it helps in preventing microbial infections. It maintains osmoregulation or homeostasis. This is the major part of the circulatory system is formed by three parts. They are heart, blood vessels and the blood. Before going into the detailed structure of heart, let us try to know about the history behind the discovery of heart. In the 4th century BC, Greek philosopher Aristotle identified heart as the most important organ of the body. He said that it was a seat of intelligence, motion and sensation, and he considered it as hot and dry organ. He stated that brain and lungs are only existed to cool the heart. Galen reaffirmed heart as the organ most closely related to the soul. He argued that the expansion and contractions of the heart was a function of its role as an intelligent organ. Okay children, just now we came to know that Galen reaffirmed heart as the most important organ and it is the seat of intelligence. So, its expansion and contraction are the part of its intelligent organ. So, let us see a small animation of heart which is showing the expansion and contraction of heart according to the opinion of Galen. Okay children, in this heart animation video you can find and you can observe the contraction and expansion of the heart, which is the part of its role as an intelligent organ according to Galen. After the contributions of William Harvey, the first known physician, it was proved that heart is not the organ of soul, but it is a pumping organ that pumps blood to all parts of the body, including brain and lungs. What is heart? Heart is a hollow, conical, muscular and pulsating organ that pumps blood to different parts of the body. The size of the heart is about crunched fist of a man. The heart is located in the chest cavity, the space provided called mediastinum between the two lungs, and it is protected by rib cage. There is a double membranous structure that is covering the heart called pericardium or heart sac. Between the two membranes of pericardium, there is a narrow space present called pericardial space, which is filled with pericardial fluid. The pericardial fluid helps in protection of heart from external shocks and jerks. Here you can see the external surface of the heart. There are prominent blood vessels called coronary arteries and coronary veins that are supplied to muscles of the heart. This heart is exactly situated at the center of the chest cavity, not towards the left, but the broad surface is anterior and conical posterior surface is bending just towards the left side, but the heart is not situated towards the left side of the chest cavity. Here in this image you can see externally and internally heart is divided into 4 chambers. They are 2 anterior chambers called auricles or atria. Atrium is the new name of auricle. And the 2 posterior chambers are called ventricles. In Latin origin, atria means entrance hall, whereas in Latin origin ventricle means little belly. Internally, the 2 auricles are separated by a fibrous septum called interauricular septum, and the 2 ventricles are separated by a vertical septum called interventricular septum. So, all the 4 chambers are separated internally. Here there are so many trunks of blood vessels are supplied to the heart. They are the largest rigid blood vessel called systemic aorta and pulmonary aorta, system of vena cava and pulmonary veins. The systemic aorta is originating from the left ventricle, which is transporting oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. The pulmonary vein is entering into the left atrium, which is carrying oxygenated blood from lungs to the left atrium. The pulmonary aorta, which is arising from the right ventricle, after coming out of the right ventricle, the pulmonary aorta is dividing into 2 branches called pulmonary arteries. The opening of the pulmonary aorta is guarded by a semilunar valve called pulmonary valve. The system of vena cava are formed by 2 anterior precaval veins and 1 postcaval vein. The postcaval vein opening is guarded by a membranous fold called Eustachian valve. Here internally there are different valves are seen in the heart. Between right atrium and the right ventricle, a tricuspid valve is present with 3 flaps, and between left atrium and the left ventricle, a bicuspid valve, which is also called mitral valve, is present with 2 flaps. The pulmonary valve is guarding the opening of pulmonary aorta, and aortic wall, which is also called systemic valve, guards the systemic aorta. Next, in this slide, children, you can observe there are 2 different nodal tissues that are supplied to the wall of heart. The 2 nodal tissues are SA node or sinoatrial node, AV node or atrioventricular node. The SA node is a modified cardiac muscle that help in generation of action potential for the contraction of the auricles. AV node or atrioventricular node is present at the junction of interatrioventricular septum. This AV node acts as pace setter. SA node acts as pacemaker and AV node acts as pace setter. Okay children, till now you came to know about the different parts, different chambers, different blood vessels and different valves that are connected or communicating with the heart. Let us know the internal structure and external structure of heart in detail, which is the topic of 10th bioscience, that is transportation. Let us see the video and learn more about external and internal structure of the heart. Okay children, here you can see the heart. It is the heart of sheep, which is conical, hollow, muscular organ. The heart is situated in the thoracic cavity, the space provided called mediastinum, and it is protected by rib cage. The heart is showing different surfaces. One is anterior broad surface and conical posteriorly. At the anterior broader surface, there are so many trunks of blood vessels that are arising from the ventricles of heart. These blood vessels are forming the bulk of the heart. The heart is covered by a double membranous structure, and we can see different prominent blood vessels on the surface of heart. These prominent blood vessels are coronary arteries and the coronary veins supplied to the muscles of the heart. The heart is covered by a double membranous structure called pericardium. Between the two membranes of pericardium, the pericardial space is present, which is filled with pericardial fluid. The pericardial fluid protects heart from external shocks and jerks. And there is a deep groove which is separating the anterior chambers and the posterior chambers. Heart is divided into 4 chambers externally. The 2 anterior chambers are called auricles and the 2 posterior chambers are called ventricles. All the 4 chambers, right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and the left ventricle. There is a prominent deep groove that is separating anterior auricles from the posterior ventricles. This prominent groove is called coronary sulcus or interatrioventricular groove. One more groove separating the 2 ventricles, that is called interventricular groove. This interventricular groove lodges the coronary blood vessels. There are so many trunks or aortic arches that are arising from the heart. Here you can see the insertion of one straw into a vessel, that is nothing but pulmonary aorta. This pulmonary aorta is guarded by semilunar valve or pulmonary valve. After coming out of the heart, it is dividing into 2 branches. Next one is the rigid one called systemic aorta. The systemic aorta is emerging out of the left ventricle, which is guarded by systemic valve or aortic valve. This systemic aorta supplies blood to all parts of the body. The third one is system of vena cava. It opens into the right atrium, which is collecting deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body and released into the right atrium. This is formed by 2 precaval veins and 1 postcaval vein. The second trunk is pulmonary veins, which open into the left atrium and carrying oxygenated blood from lungs to the left atrium. There are no valves in the pulmonary veins. Okay children, we have seen different trunks of heart that are arising from different chambers of the heart: pulmonary aorta, systemic aorta, system of vena cava and the pulmonary vein. Among all the trunks of blood vessels, the pulmonary aorta has a valve called pulmonary valve. Systemic aorta opening is guarded by systemic valve. The postcaval vein is guarded by a membranous folding called eustachian valve, but there are no valves in the precaval veins as well as in the pulmonary veins. The two auricles are smaller than the ventricles, posterior chambers. Among the two ventricles, right ventricle is smaller than the left ventricle. The right ventricle is supplying deoxygenated blood to lungs for purification, whereas the left ventricle is supplying oxygenated blood to all parts of the body through the systemic aorta. The walls of ventricles are also varying. Now let us see the internal structure of heart. The internal structure also reveals the presence of four chambers: right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle and the left ventricle. Between right atrium and right ventricle, there is an opening called interatrioventricular aperture or right atrioventricular aperture. Between left atrium and left ventricle, there is left atrioventricular aperture. The right atrioventricular aperture is guarded by tricuspid valve with 3 flaps, whereas left atrioventricular aperture is guarded by bicuspid valve or mitral valve with 2 flaps. These valves prevent backward flow of blood from ventricles into the auricles during contraction of ventricles. You can observe whitish string-like structures that are extending from auriculoventricular septa to the muscles of the ventricles. They are called chordae tendineae. The chordae tendineae are connected to the papillary muscles of ventricles that prevent too much bulging of atrioventricular valves during ventricular systole. There is a septum that is separating the two ventricles called interventricular septum. On the inner wall of the ventricles, there are so many longitudinal foldings called columnae corneae. Some of the columnae corneae are modified to form papillary muscles which are connected to atrioventricular septa that prevent too much bulging of valves during ventricular contraction. The right ventricle receives deoxygenated blood, whereas left ventricle receives oxygenated blood. The right ventricle is pumping deoxygenated blood through pulmonary aorta to both the lungs through pulmonary arteries for oxygenation, whereas left ventricle is pumping oxygenated blood to all parts of the body through systemic aorta. There are nodal tissues present in the wall of heart. One is situated in the wall of right atrium called SA node or sinoatrial node. This SA node acts as pacemaker that generates action potential to the auricles when both auricles are filled with the blood, that resulting in contraction of the auricles. The second nodal tissue present at the junction of interatrioventricular septa called AV node or atrioventricular node acts as pace setter. When action potential is generated by SA node to the wall of auricles, that action potential is received by the AV node and it is conducted to the bundle of His and conducted to the wall of ventricle through small fibers called Purkinje fibers. When these Purkinje fibers are receiving the action potential, that result in contraction of the ventricles. So, when ventricles are contracted, the right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood to lungs and left ventricle pumps oxygenated blood to. So, this is what the structure of heart. Now, we came to know that heart is the size of a crunched fist of a man, but this small sized organ is carrying different functions for better survival of the living organisms. To keep this heart healthy, we have to follow some healthy tips. Eat healthy and nutritious food. So, what healthy food and what type of nutritious food you have to take, you have to discuss this with your teacher. Get active by doing physical exercise. Means you have to play enormously, not the indoor games, but you have to do outdoor games, especially to keep your heart healthy. Practice good dental hygiene, especially flossing your teeth daily. Manage stress. Then stay healthy weight, get enough sleep. Children, now I would like to ask you a few questions which are thought-provoking questions. Already we came to know that heart is situated in the thoracic cavity. Rather than the thoracic cavity, what happens if heart is situated in the abdominal cavity? Discuss with your teachers or peer groups or with your friends. And second question, what happens if valves are absent in the heart? Summary of the heart. Heart is a central pumping organ. It is divided into 4 chambers. Upper 2 chambers called atria and lower 2 chambers are the ventricles. There are large blood vessels arising from the heart: systemic aorta, pulmonary aorta, system of vena cava. Different valves are present in the heart. They are tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, aortic valve, pulmonary valve, eustachian valve and sebaceous valve. There are 2 nodal tissues in the heart. They are SA node, acts as pacemaker, and AV node as pace setter. Okay children, now this is the time for evaluation. After listening this topic, you have to answer few questions. What are the functions of valves in the heart? Write the structural difference between the chambers of heart. Draw a neat label diagram of heart. And fourth question, how can you appreciate the role of heart in supplying substances? Okay children, till now we discussed about the structure of heart, and I'll see you soon in the next class with new topic. Thank you.
కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ జూలై 2020 అంతర్జాతీయం